Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. Before we get going, I wanted to remind you that over at Caleb and Brown, my partner, where I do have an account, these guys can do an account for you in the name of your trust, or they can do one in the name of your LLC if you don't have your crypto in your name.
So that's one of the key benefits, and something that a lot of our clients use our service for, is to be able to actually trade not only as an individual, but through their LLC, through their trust, and it's something that we will help onboard, and then will allow you to invest through that. So that's something that a lot of our clients leverage. I use it myself personally. So I have an individual account, and that's where I do a lot of more of my riskier trades with Caleb Brown. But I also have a family trust that's set up for my family, that I want them to have exposure to crypto, get a bit of exposure to things like XRP and other assets. So in that scenario, I can trade on behalf of just myself as an individual with Caleb Brown. But I also have another account that's for my family trust. And they're two separate entities, and they do perform sort of different trades, and they have they hold different assets, which is really valuable for a lot of our clients.
Okay, so if you want to open a Caleb and Brown account, you can go to xrpwealth589.com, and it will forward you right to this page. When you sign up, you'll get your own broker that you can either call on the phone or email. You'll get institutional custody, grade custody for free. And you'll get liquidity that's needed, over-the-counter liquidity with multiple providers, the liquidity needed to get out when you're ready to get out, if you're ready to get out. We're still, the market's still in the doldrums here. We're at 3.76 trillion. Like I said in my last video, I am positioning myself to back up the truck. I hope these prices stay like they are, or even go down a little bit. Now, this, folks, was said by Chris Giancarlo on stage at XRP Las Vegas. This is how they're going to fund the digital asset stockpile. Write it down. You heard it from Chris Giancarlo first.
As I was able to share with the president, some members of his council, of the cabinet, an idea for taking something old and making it very new. So in our U.S. Constitution, in Article 1, Section 8, there is a provision called Letters of Marque and Reprisal, by which Congress can authorize the president to deputize the private sector to wage war on our national enemies. And that provision was used in the War of 1812 when President James Madison authorized a sailor by the name of John Paul Jones to raid British shipping and to basically steal back the cargoes and the seamen that British sailors were taking from the American merchant marine. What I propose to President Trump is that we dust that off, and in a variation of James Madison, this president authorized the enormous technological capability that members of which are in this room here today, to go after state-sponsored hackers of our crypto, like the Lazarus Group, that are stealing crypto and using it to fund their arms program. Well, let's go steal that crypto back, and let's use it to fund our crypto stockpile and our crypto reserve, right? Let's do it. You know, my dad told me when a bully took me on in school, he said, you know, the thing that you need to do with a bully is punch him in the nose. Well, let's go punch North Korea in the nose.
I like it. Well, this was back in May. Now it's actually happening. They're not saying it yet, but it's happening. Ripple partnered with TRM Labs. This is I think he's the global head of policy for TRM Labs. Listen to what he says.
We reached out to Coinbase and Binance first, and they were really all in on this. We then brought on PayPal and Stripe and Robinhood. Ripple is a huge part of what we're doing. Exchanges like OKX and Kraken, Zodiac Custody, And then we said to ourselves, all right, well, who are the best investigators in the world? And in many cases, that's global law enforcement. So think sort of the largest leading law enforcement agencies across the globe, but also people like XRP on Twitter, who is arguably one of the best investigators in the crypto ecosystem. Zero Shadow, right? Firms that are doing this, individuals that are doing this. And what they're able to do is they're able to flag addresses that are engaged in illicit activity, illicit transactions, and alert this network. Think of it as a lighthouse, right? Sending that beacon, sending that alert, so that exchanges know that illicit funds are moving and interdict them. So while we think of public-private partnerships oftentimes as these static, groups of people sitting around a table or something, coordinating, this is real-time alerting and interdiction network. And we've brought as many folks across the crypto ecosystem, and it's growing. It's really exciting to see the momentum around it. We announced it last week, and we're already sort of onboarding new members.
That's how it's going to happen. Now, he mentioned XRP, which this is very interesting. Dom retweeted it from Easy A and says, as I was saying, and this is not even a comprehensive list, there are many more. Remember all the influencers you saw spreading FUD in the past few weeks. Folks, it's a PR network. I've been telling you this. It is a PR network, and the amount of influencers that are being paid and don't disclose, and that's in the XRP community too. Many of them have rationalized that they don't have to disclose it, because what they do is they go to these companies that are issuing tokens and they say, oh, I'm not going to let you give me any, but then they'll go and buy tokens from that company either before launch or at some discount. Well, you're still receiving a benefit, and that should be disclosed too. But there's a lot of them that do it. Now, but it's rampant. I've told you for a long time, the PR, the Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, maybe a couple others, are PR campaigns that starts with the VC and the token allotments. Here, what he's pointing out is new leak price sheet of 200 plus crypto influencers and their wallet address from a project they were recently contacted by to promote. From 160 plus accounts who accepted the deal, I only saw less than five accounts actually disclose the promotional posts as an advertisement. I mean, that right there is about as shady as it gets, folks. But make no mistake, they're not just paid to promote projects. They're also paid to attack XRP and to create the perception that these companies are huge and all this. Speaking of altcoin daily, is XRP still worth holding? Just because the price has gone down for the last few days, now all of a sudden none of what has been built matters, I guess. Historic week ahead on September 3rd. 100 plus tokenized stocks and ETFs come on chain, flipping the switch to more open, global, accessible capital markets on Ondo Finance. Look at this. Run, John Deaton, run. John Deaton leaning toward run. He plans to make a final decision about running for U.S. Senate by October, and he is canvassing political consultants to help run a potential campaign against Senator Ed Markey. He told the Herald. That should be fun. Here we've got JP Morgan considers Ripple heavyweight in the age of CBDCs from Smoke. Elsewhere in the agenda, the heavyweights from Ripple, EM Tech, Deloitte sharing their perspectives on how money can reimagine in the age of CBDCs. Other countries are going to have CBDCs, and I think a lot of those will be tokenized on the XRP ledger. Here in the U.S., we do not get CBDCs. They're passing a law to not have it. But who approves the stable coins in the United States? Well, that's the U.S. government. So I've always said, well, what's the real difference? I mean, they created the Federal Reserve and they called it private, but it's obviously a politicized arm of the U.S. government, even though they call it private so that it's untouchable. And so is it really any different, folks? No, it's not. Okay, we're going to go in DAIXRP.com, and I'm going to show you the game that has been run on you. This, in my opinion, this has all been run by the government. Bitcoin, Tether, getting everyone to look at that and to look away from gold and all that. And they're saying the quiet part out loud, folks. I mean, for years, I've been saying there's no way this is not a government operation for many reasons. And now even some of the biggest people out there are saying it out loud. So I'm going to show you what they said, and I'm going to tie it all together. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family you want to find out about this Bitcoin Tether game and what it's all been about. Come along with me. Here we go.